Before I read a prepared statement, I would like to extend our heartfelt sympathy to the family and friends of Mitchell Vance and Devin Julius. We recognize that this tragic situation has been very difficult for their family and friends, and they will remain in our thoughts and prayers in the coming days. On Thursday, April 24th at approximately 9:06 a.m., the Rock County 911 Center received a telephone call from a subject who wants to remain anonymous. The caller had information about a black 2004 Infiniti QX56. The caller said the vehicle had front bumper damage and damage to the headlight and fog light. The caller said this vehicle was currently in Park City, Illinois. The Rock County Sheriff's Office was notified of an anonymous 911 call almost immediately and quickly began investigating this new information. Rock County detectives contacted the Park City Police, and they were asked to check the area where the suspect vehicle was reported to be parked. Rock County detectives also departed Rock County for Park City, Illinois to continue the investigation. The Park City Police located the suspect vehicle and observed the suspect vehicle while the Rock County detectives were en route to Park City, Illinois. Through the initial investigation of this information, detectives were able to develop the identity of the suspected driver, who had been the driver of the Infiniti at the time of the fatal crash. That information was passed on to the Park City Police. While they were watching the suspect vehicle, two male subjects left the residence where the vehicle was parked. Park City Police stopped both subjects and identified them. One of the subjects was the suspected driver that the Rock County detectives had identified. Park City Police detained this suspect for Rock County detectives. When detectives arrived in Park City at the location of the Infiniti, they observed that the damage on the vehicle closely matched the damage that they believed the suspect vehicle sustained in the fatal crash. The suspect vehicle was seized and transported to the Wisconsin State Crime Lab in Milwaukee, where it will be processed. The vehicle parts collected at the scene of the accident will be compared to the suspect vehicle. The suspected driver is a Sambeth Pal, 24 years old, from Park City, Illinois. Pal has connections to Janesville and Rock County. Pal is currently in custody in the Lake County, Illinois jail for 2 counts of hit and run causing death and is awaiting extradition back to Rock County, Wisconsin. I would like to thank everyone who provided information on this case. I would like to thank all the businesses that helped with this case, especially Harms Automotive of Janesville and LKQ Auto Parts Incorporated. Both were essential in identifying the make, model, and year of the suspect vehicle using the parts that we collected at the crash scene. I would also like to thank Lamar Advertising for providing billboards with the suspect vehicle information. Lastly, I would like to thank the media and Janesville Area Crime Stoppers for the many tips that were forwarded to the Sheriff's Office reference this investigation. And finally, one final thank you is to our citizens who use social media to get the information out, whether it's pictures of the vehicle, whether it's providing tips. We're very grateful for all of your help. I'll take a few questions at this time.
Sheriff, could you spell the suspect's name, please?
Sure. The S name is spelt P-A-L. First name is Sambeth, spelt S-A-M-B-A-T-H.
Does he have any ties to this area?
We know that he has had previous ties here. We know that he's lived within the area recently, and we know we have 3 different residences where he's lived.
And how do you know he was the driver?
Well, we suspect he's the driver, and we're still working on confirming it.
The information we received from our anonymous caller provided us the information we needed, as well as we collaborated with witnesses that we talked to here in Wisconsin.
Sheriff, the vehicle, the suspect vehicle, what year is it? How is it the precise vehicle that had been
Right, it's a 2004, and it is the vehicle that we had listed as our suspect vehicle.
Chief, do you have an age on the
24 years old.
Sheriff, do you know what he was doing in Rock County on Easter Sunday?
Well, we suspect that, and we know from information we received, that he was up here visiting with friends.
Do you suspect alcohol might have been involved in the crash?
We don't have information right now that we could, would lead us to believe that.
How important was that 911 call? Was this gentleman on the radar at all?
No, he was not. This call that we received really was a surprise for us. Obviously, as we said in our press release, 911 Center obviously did a very good job of doing some initial questioning of this individual. And the information that the 911 Center got from that individual was extremely helpful in making us realize that this was a very strong suspect. And so that was huge. And then them notifying us immediately was also a huge part in this, because once we listened to the audio of it, it became very clear this person had relevant information and was really very helpful. So we immediately dispatched 2 detectives down to Park City.
Suspect been cooperating, talking to you guys, or?
Not really.
Sheriff, in terms of that 911 call, was the caller observing the vehicle and its damage? Was the caller acquainted with the suspect? Can you give us a context?
Well, I can tell you that he did personally observe the vehicle, that he had personal knowledge of the suspect's whereabouts. And beyond that, I don't want to comment, because as I said earlier, this person stepped forward and they really want to remain anonymous. So,
Sheriff, you
Yes.
said he's right. Oh, sorry. You said he was in Illinois right now. When do you hope to have him back? When do you hope to have your own investigators talk to him?
well, right now the arrest warrant is being issued today. Obviously, it depends on whether or not he waives extradition. We'd like to have him back within a week. If he fights extradition, then that will put some length of time on that. That would put it in some weeks or even possibly a month.
And have you checked on his criminal record?
Yes, we have. Yeah.
And what type of record have you found?
Well, we found, as a matter of fact, I have that. We know that on 3/18 of 11, he was arrested for receiving stolen property. On 3/26 of 11, he received a Janesville municipal citation for retail theft, and he currently has an arrest warrant commitment on that retail theft for failure to pay the fine.
Has he given any indication why he fled the scene of that crash?
Sheriff, statistically, the longer a hit and run goes unresolved, the bigger problem becomes. How much of a relief was it 5 days later to get this
Right.
break?
Oh, it was a huge relief, and a lot of it had to do with that. This was a very troubling event that happened to our community, and we knew that the family and the friends were doing a great deal of suffering. And so for us to be able to give at least a little bit of closure and at least let them know that we've gotten this person, and that justice, the wheels of justice will now begin, was really it was important for us to see that happen.
Sheriff, do you believe the suspect was alone in the SUV at the time?
At this time, the information we have is yes.
Sheriff, had that suspect been stopped separate from the hit and run, given the criminal history you're telling us about, would he have been arrested if he was just stopped, even separate from this
Yes.
tragedy?
Yes, he would have, because of the AWC that he has for the retail failure to pay a fine. So, yeah, he would have been stopped, and then he would have taken into custody on that warrant.
Sheriff, what was his relationship to the other man that ran out from the residence in Park City?
They were just associates.
So that other man's not suspected in
No,
anything?
the other individual was not suspected or is not involved in any way.
Sheriff, did the suspect sustain any injuries of his own because of the crash?
None that we could observe when we interviewed him. There was nothing, and he noted that there was no injuries.
Sorry, sir. Can you repeat, when did you get the anonymous 911 tip?
It would have been 9:06 a.m. Yesterday.
Sheriff, will there be any way to determine whether he may have been under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
Obviously it dissipates quickly out of the blood. So, short of a statement, it would be difficult for us to provide any type of chemical evidence that he was under the influence of alcohol.
You said he was up here seeing friends. Have those friends been cooperating with him?
Yes, everyone that has been very cooperative with us, and we are very appreciative of that.
Have you talked to the victims' families at all, and what kind of reaction have you gotten from them?
Yes, this morning I spoke with the victims' families. Actually, the other family was not here. They were up north, so we dispatched one of our captains, drove up and met with them, and we made them aware that what we had found out and that the suspect was in custody, and wished them well, and obviously gave them our deepest sympathy. So that'll be it for questions. Thank you very much.